Okay, so I will introduce to the team for the other people who don't know us. So I'm Donatella, and with Gabriela and Paulina, we created Funshare app. So before going in the details of the app, I just want to explain how we organize the work. So at the beginning, we created our flow diagram, the database schema, and we use the user stories to understand better what we wanted to do and how to plan better the app. We also use the Trello board when we share these informations, and then we basically we started the work environment together because we decided to use MongoDB as a database, and because it was a new database, so we worked together with the routes, and also we did the scaffolding of the main component together, so we could start from the same point. And also we divided the different tasks. So the rest we did the communication like daily with Zoom calls, with Slack, and we also did pair programming, but we're a trio, so it was more like trio programming. And also we did the Git, all the pull requests and the merge we did together, so to avoid any kind of weird conflicts. And now it's Gabby's turn. She will explain you what Funshare is.
I'll just share my screen. How are you?
Something I didn't mention is that when we did this pair programming, we also checked how the things were going, and if we had any blockers, we were trying to share and solve together.
Nice.
Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yes. So this is our main page, which is also like a sign-in page. And as Donatella said, our app is about connecting people that love to play board games. So it's about connecting, but not to play online, to play like in real life. So from here, I will show you like the login and registering part, but we have like an about Funshare. So we have like a couple of, mainly in all the pages, we have like a nav bar, and some of the routes are protected. So for example, here you can just go about overshare, and this is the categories we use then to add your games. This will be like some rules in the future that like the community will have, and like a bit of contact. But then, for example, if you go to my account or players, this does like protected routes. So if you're not logged in, you cannot go. Actually, you use Passport to do this. So Passport will generate a token. So it's like to authenticate the connection. But it was like partially used because later on to authenticate the route, we just are doing like a conditioning render. So if you have the token, you can have the access. When you log out, you don't anymore. So here I would just make like a register thing. I just paid, I'll put my grandma here because she's really good at playing board games. Laura, like she's here. Just to put another one. Just go on. So this 1, 2, 3. So once you register, you get back. Do you see that also later on, like the password is encrypted? So this will be our like page that Paulina will show you like soon. And then when you log out again, this is where you lose your token, so you're not able to navigate anymore. And that's it, I think, Paulina.
Yeah, I think if you use a different emails, then you can see or a wrong email.
Sure. Actually, the system won't allow you to put like the same, like to register twice. But also, if I put here my grandma again, and I put like the wrong password, it won't allow you like to go through it in the register as well, because like Mongo won't allow us to register twice the same person or like the same email. That's it.
Okay, so I will show the user page, and then we will talk more later about what we exactly did. And now we just want to show you the demo of the app. I think, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So first, when you log in, I created a new user, which is Joanna. And when you log in, you can see that you only, like when you registered, you could see that when Gabriela registered, she only put basic information like city and the email address and the name. So then you have the option to go to my account and fill your profile. So when you log in, the first thing you see are the other users of the app. And you can see that they are like from different cities, and they will also have different games. So the main thing I was kind of doing in the app was to create the search engine and how you can actually use the data we were collecting about the users. So you can, for example, select different game categories. You can select one or you can select multiple, and you can select a city and do the search. So there is 3 people here, and then you could see that some people are like, there are English and Spanish. So if there is more and more people, you could, do it more narrow. Oh, sorry, it didn't work for some reason. Can maybe. So you can specify also the language. So all of these filters are working, and you can choose one filter, you can choose multiple filters, and I will explain this later, but that was one of the most challenging things for me to do. And then you can see the games of the people. So at the moment, we don't have any direct connection that you can you can connect with the user using our app. That would be like a future feature that you can directly message the person. At the moment, we decided to just allow people to give their email, and other people can connect with them, just sending an email. And you could use this app for different reasons. You could look for people who own the games you are interested in, or you could you could try and explore more games. Like you could look for like something specific, or you could just be a category of game you're interested, or you can just be interested in socializing, so you can just choose the city and maybe the category of the game doesn't matter for you. So this is kind of the whole idea. And then you can go to my account, and here you can see that you have like just basic information. And this is what Gabriela mentioned, that you can see that the password is encrypted. We left it like that just to show you that it's encrypted, but like in the future, we would just allow the user to change the password here, and it will be in a different format. So we can maybe just change the nickname of the person, or like just add the nickname. You won't see it yet. I'll update the profile, but because it's one-page application, I'm not gonna refresh the page. I will just I can just go to different page from the navbar, and when oh no, sorry, I lost it. I need to log again. You can see that the information are updated, so it's working well from the database. And this is the place where you can add the games. We can just maybe do and like you don't need to put all information if you don't want to. So we can see your game here, and you can delete the games, and you can go back to the players, and you can see that Jo has her games. It's like we are also displaying the user at the moment. In the future, I would like to do it like you don't display the actual user you are, because that's no point for you to search yourself. But just to also show that this is the way you would just do it. And yeah, I think that is it for now. I think I've showed everything what I was working on. and Donatella can take over and show. Yeah. And you could also see that when I was going from, I was navigating through the navbar from players to my account. There wasn't the information that Gabriela had before, like the game over thing, because I was logged in, so we can see that everything is connected.
Yeah, I can show you the event page. So in this page, the players can have the opportunity to create their event. And so, for example, if they want to play, I don't know, like Scrabble, I want to play with 4 people, I want to play in Barcelona, I want to play. Oops. Okay, just put a random. And description, you can say what you want, for example, just contact me for more details. So basically, you can see at the top there is a map that I like it. And so at the moment with the map, we can, if we create the event, then we submit, we can see that it's going to the location that we put here. And so this, it will be a part of future features, because at the moment, of course, you see this bottom here, input and bottom, this should not be here, it should be connected directly with the location. But this will be something that for the next steps, and also for the players to be able to add more locations here, and to be able to filter maybe for the events near them. So what I did, it was just I created a new component for the event, and also the map is like the child component. And so it's the event has its own like schema, so it's not at the moment connected with the players. And so this is also like future, because usually you could go here to see the players and the other pages, and then you can come back to your event. You can see that here the location that I put before is gone, but you can see the games here. So the events here, and then if you want to, for example, contact somebody here, you can just click, and this will be connected to your mail, and you can directly send a message to the person. So yeah, so I talk about the future feature, about the map. So yeah, to create this connection, and just for the players to be able to create their events, and also to see the other ones. And I think I said everything about this. For me, it was challenging the part that the different components in React, and another part that was challenging, it was to at the beginning with MongoDB, the routes. Yeah, they were the most challenging parts. And I think that's it.
Show your code. Show your code.
My code. Let's see. So I have. I was working at the beginning. I was working the registration form, and then Gabi adjusted that and integrated with the login, and then I was working part of the edit profile, and then Paulina just did all the filters, and then this is the other components, so the event part, and then the map. The map is just before I can show you the Yeah, this the. Oh no, sorry, it's just a picture of the schema for the events. I can't see it here. Anyway, I created another schema for this one. And I don't know,
In
maybe
model
Gabi and Pauline, you want to show more about your code. And so basically what I was proud of, I'm proud of that I was able to work in both parts, so front end and back end. That's it. I give you Gabi and Paulina, you can explain a bit more about your part.
Gabi, do you wanna start or?
I can, yeah. Sorry, have the bar that it goes. There we go. So my thing, like the codes found the login page, because so here you have some Passport configurations that this is like from Passport itself. So the strategy we use with using like the tokens. So this is like what they have as a default, and this is if you take this out, the token won't be created, so it generates and validates it. And then this is the part of the you get the password encrypted, and here it's when to log in, you have to compare the password to see if it's, because it compares the password you write to the one that is encrypted and allows you to log in. And this is what I did that it's different. So normally we'll have to use this kind of functions to authenticate the passport, use like a normal one. But if you go here in, for example, my account, we'll see I did else condition. So if you have the token, you see all this I'm going through. Otherwise, you're not able. So to access it. So this is not like the proper way to use Passport, but it's working. So, and it's like, I think it's like simpler. And yeah, this is a bit of some extra code that I did, but that's it. Another thing that we did that that we used before is to put like with the router as well. So when you go to here, this is the part of it. So it pushes you to the all users. So once you log in, you get pushed to that. So this was like kind of to redirecting in between pages. Challenging for me, everything. There is a point that I didn't know if the authentication will work or not. So actually it was like, it was kind of so fragile, especially when it was working. I say, I won't do it anymore, just don't. But it's in the end, I think it's fine. So at least like the features will be like because we can change the password, but it's not being encrypted. So when you go again and you validate it, since it needs the encryption to validate, it won't read like the hard-coded password in the system. And maybe, I could adapt it to the Passport way, or, see like the events itself. We could render only the events for people not logged in, and the possibility to people only logged in to create new events as well. This could be another thing, but that's it.
Okay, and Gabi was using the most of our like new technologies, I think, and Donatella also. Like we never said anything about the technologies we use, I think. So I can maybe just mention that looking at our README file can be my guidance for that. So and Gabi, you can explain more if anyone has a questions or something for that. But yeah, for authentication, Gabi used Passport, Bcrypt, and JSON Web Token. For the front end, we use React Router, Bootstrap for styling, Axios, and Leaflet. Axios was like Gabi was using it to handle the promises and to handle the connection, I think. We were using just fetch, as we used to do in the in the class, like we were taught. So Gabi was exploring a lot. She was a queen of new technologies.
No, actually, I was always hoping to like write less code, but it's not real. Like I mean, you have to write a lot of things as well. But trying.
And for the backend, we use Express to create the server, and Node.js, and also Mongoose. And Mongoose and MongoDB, these were two very new things for us. We never used it. We never, we used sequential database, which is MySQL, in our previous projects and in the class. And we decided to get to know MongoDB. And we thought it's gonna be a great way to learn it just doing the project. So this took us a while to understand Mongo and Mongoose, and it was like first probably 4 or 5 days after we were actually able to do the scaffolding of the front end and have the basic things running with the Mongo. We used Compass for like displaying our data, so we can also see like Compass MongoDB. So we can also see our users' schema, for example. So like, we have events, and we have 2 separate, I don't have anything in events because I didn't create them. But we had 2 separate models. So it was events and users. And that was like the first difference, that MongoDB stores the data in a different way than MySQL. So we had to learn a lot how to use this model and how to, even how to add the data to the database, how to retrieve them. And that was something I was, that was kind of main part for me to do with my code, that I was displaying the users, and I was using the filters. I was creating the search engine to filter through the users. So it was something that I remembered from the first weeks of the bootcamp, that I really struggled with like nested data structures with objects and arrays and objects in arrays. So then I created it for myself here to practice, and it was really difficult at the beginning. It doesn't look difficult, but how to retrieve the data from nested objects, it was quite hard for me. With all users, I think the main more important part for me was to create the multiple filtering, and I was going like step by step, starting from very simple data schema. I changed the schema a few times. So this is our user schema at the moment. And it's like just one small nesting, but it was really hard to work with for me without knowing this database before. And so this is like kind of the most challenging part for me, and also I am the most proud of it, because it was working like every day. I was adding more and more filters and like more ways of filtering. So starting from very simple to like more complicated. And also this is the endpoint. Like I was working in the front end and back end, and like the main endpoint for me, API route, was this one. And there was also the edit profile was easy, but then the edit my game thing or add the game was quite difficult, because I had to think about it completely differently than from MySQL, because you can't just delete it. It's like a different way of doing that. You are updating the user. You are not deleting the table like in SQL. So I mean, just to switch from thinking in a SQL way to MongoDB way, it was quite complicated. What else? I kind of felt like the part of the code I was doing was really like, we had this morning challenges in every day for the last week, and for the last 3 weeks. So doing the code, like this part of the code was kind of like that. So after I solved one puzzle, there was another puzzle, and it was quite great. It was amazing, and I liked doing it this way. So I really enjoyed it. I think that's it. Thank you.
Well done.